Argentina's economy has been on a wild ride for decades, a story filled with soaring hopes, deep disappointments, and a pattern of boom and bust that seems almost impossible to break. Today, as we take a closer look at why Argentina's economy is falling apart again, we uncover a tale of recurring challenges, hard-learned lessons, and the constant struggle between short-term fixes and long-term stability. Imagine living in a country where every day feels like you're walking on thin ice. Prices for the simplest items, a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, even a cup of coffee, are rising faster than you can keep up with. This isn't just a bad day at the market, it's a reflection of an economy in free fall. In Argentina, the relentless cycle of high inflation, devaluing currency, and mounting national debt isn't new. It's a part of everyday life that leaves families, small business owners, and even large corporations on edge, uncertain about what tomorrow might bring. At the heart of the current crisis is a combination of long-standing structural issues and fresh external pressures. One of the major factors is the way money is managed. For years, the government has often relied on printing more money to cover its spending, a practice that may seem like a quick fix, but inevitably leads to runaway inflation. When more money chases the same amount of goods and services, prices naturally begin to climb. This means that the value of every peso drops, and the money you earn today won't buy as much tomorrow as it did yesterday. For ordinary Argentines, this is not an abstract economic principle. It's a daily struggle to keep up with the cost of living. Another critical piece of the puzzle is the nation's enormous debt. Argentina has a long history of borrowing money to fund its needs, both from domestic sources and international lenders. Servicing this debt takes up a significant chunk of the national budget, leaving less room for investments in crucial areas like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. When the economy slows down, or when revenues fall short, the pressure to meet debt obligations intensifies, forcing the government to make painful choices between paying its bills and providing for the people. This balancing act has proven unsustainable over time, and has contributed to a loss of confidence among investors and citizens alike. External factors also play a significant role in this economic drama. Argentina is a country deeply integrated into the global economy, and its fortunes are closely tied to international markets. The country relies heavily on the export of agricultural products, soybeans, corn, beef, to fuel its economy. While these exports have brought prosperity in times of high global demand and favorable prices, they also leave the nation vulnerable when commodity prices drop or when global demand falters. In today's unpredictable international market, even a slight downturn in global prices can trigger a cascade of economic challenges. At home, political uncertainty further compounds the situation. With frequent changes in leadership and policy directions, long-term planning becomes a rare luxury. Investors, both domestic and international, are hesitant to commit to a country where the rules of the game can change overnight. This hesitance not only stifles investment, but also exacerbates the economic instability that has become synonymous with Argentina's financial landscape. The uncertainty creates a vicious cycle. Unstable policies lead to a loss of trust, which in turn drives away investment, deepening the economic woes and leaving the government scrambling for quick solutions. Yet, amid all these challenges, there is a story of resilience and hope. Argentina is a nation renowned for its passionate people, its rich cultural heritage, and its unwavering determination. Despite the repeated economic setbacks, there are countless examples of communities banding together, of small businesses finding innovative ways to survive, and of everyday citizens refusing to give in to despair. This resilience is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, the spirit of a people can shine through, offering a glimmer of hope for a turnaround. One of the most visible signs of the crisis is the erosion of trust. Trust in the government's ability to manage the economy, trust in the banks where people keep their savings, and trust in the very policies that are supposed to secure the nation's future have all been battered by years of mismanagement and broken promises. When trust is lost, people begin to act in ways that only deepen the problem. They rush to spend their money before it loses more value, fueling the inflation that makes everyday living even more challenging. Investors pull their funds out, worried that further instability could lead to even harsher conditions. This lack of confidence becomes self-reinforcing, creating a downward spiral that is hard to escape. For many, the recurring economic crises are not just numbers on a chart, they represent real hardships. Families find that their savings are worth less by the day, businesses struggle to plan for the future, and the dream of a stable, prosperous life seems increasingly out of reach. The human cost of these economic policies is immense. Every policy decision, every adjustment in the interest rate, every intervention by the central bank has a direct impact on the lives of millions of Argentines. When the government turns to short-term solutions that fail to address the root causes, it's the everyday person who pays the price. This brings us to the question that many are asking: what can be done to stop this cycle of economic instability? The answer is complex, involving a combination of internal reforms and external support. For Argentina to build a foundation for long-term stability, it must address the structural issues that have plagued its economy for decades. This means implementing policies that reduce fiscal deficits and manage debt more sustainably. It calls for economic diversification, moving away from an over-reliance on agricultural exports to develop other sectors such as technology, manufacturing, and services. A more diversified economy can help cushion the blow when one sector suffers, creating a more stable and resilient economic environment. Improving governance and restoring public trust are equally important. The people of Argentina need to see that their leaders are committed to honest, transparent, and consistent policies. This involves not only reforming economic policies, but also strengthening institutions so that they can withstand the pressures of political and economic turbulence. International organizations and friendly nations can also play a role by providing support that comes with a clear roadmap for reforms. However, such assistance must be carefully managed to ensure that it addresses the underlying issues rather than merely offering temporary relief. It's also essential to acknowledge that external factors, while significant, are only part of the picture. The global economy is unpredictable, and fluctuations in commodity prices or shifts in investor sentiment can impact any nation. For Argentina, the challenge is to build an economic framework that is resilient in the face of these external shocks. This requires a combination of prudent fiscal management, strategic investments, and policies that encourage innovation and growth. When a country becomes too dependent on a single sector or vulnerable to the whims of global markets, it sets itself up for a crisis every time the external environment shifts. Diversification and modernization are not just buzzwords, they are the pillars of a stable and robust economy. The challenges are undeniably daunting, and the road to recovery will not be an easy one. There will be difficult decisions, sacrifices, and a need for cooperation across all levels of society. But history has shown that even the most troubled economies can turn the tide when fundamental changes are made. The situation in Argentina is a wake-up call, a reminder that without a strong commitment to sustainable economic practices, even nations with rich resources and talented people can find themselves on the brink of collapse. As we watch these events unfold, it's clear that Argentina's struggle is not an isolated case. In today's interconnected world, the economic fate of one nation can have ripple effects that extend far beyond its borders. The lessons learned from Argentina's repeated crises are valuable not only for its citizens, but for anyone interested in how economies work and what it takes to maintain stability in an ever-changing global landscape. These lessons emphasize the importance of sound economic policies, transparency in governance, and the need for long-term planning over short-term expediency. For those following this story, the current crisis is both a cautionary tale and a call to action. It challenges us to think critically about our own economic systems and the policies that underpin them. It reminds us that behind every statistic is a person, a family, and a community striving for a better future. The hope is that through thoughtful reforms, a renewed commitment to transparency, and a willingness to learn from past mistakes, Argentina can once again set itself on a path to recovery. In the midst of uncertainty, there is also an opportunity for transformation. Crises, as painful as they may be, have the power to catalyze change. The urgency of the current situation could spur innovative solutions, inspire bold reforms, and ultimately lead to a more resilient economic system. The process won't be quick or easy, but with the determination and resourcefulness that have defined Argentina's history, there is always the possibility for renewal and growth. Looking ahead, the journey toward economic stability in Argentina will require all hands on deck, from government officials and business leaders to everyday citizens. It is a collective effort that demands both immediate action and a long-term vision. While the challenges are significant, the potential rewards of a stable, diversified, and transparent economy are immense. A prosperous Argentina would not only benefit its own people, but could also serve as a model for other nations grappling with similar issues. Ultimately, the story of Argentina's economy is one of resilience in the face of adversity. It is a story that encapsulates the tension between hope and despair, between the promise of progress and the pitfalls of past mistakes. For those who live through it, the struggle is all too real. For those of us watching from afar, it serves as a powerful reminder of the delicate balance that underpins economic stability and the profound impact that sound policy and a commitment to long-term change can have on the lives of millions. In conclusion, while Argentina's current economic troubles may seem overwhelming, they are not without a solution. The path forward lies in addressing the deep-rooted issues that have caused repeated cycles of crisis, reforming fiscal policies, diversifying the economy, and restoring trust in the institutions that are meant to safeguard the nation's future. It's a tall order, but one that is essential for breaking the cycle of instability once and for all. As the world watches Argentina navigate this turbulent period, the hope is that the lessons learned here will not only lead to a turnaround for the country, but will also provide valuable insights into how we can all work toward building more resilient economies in an unpredictable world. Every challenge carries within it the seed of change, and every crisis, no matter how severe, offers a chance to rebuild. The resilience of the Argentine people, their determination to rise above adversity, and their unwavering belief in a brighter future are the sparks that can ignite true transformation. In this unfolding narrative, there is a powerful message for everyone. While economic struggles may shake us to our core, they also provide the opportunity to redefine our systems, rethink our priorities, and create a future where stability and prosperity are within reach for all. The ongoing saga of Argentina's economy is a stark reminder that maintaining economic stability is not something that happens by accident. It requires vigilance, careful planning, and a commitment to putting long-term well-being ahead of short-term gains. As Argentina stands at this critical crossroads, the decisions made today will shape not only the future of its economy, but also the lives of millions of people who dream of a day when financial stability is the norm rather than the exception. Through thoughtful reforms, strategic investments, and a renewed focus on transparency and accountability, there is every reason to believe that Argentina can overcome its current challenges. The road ahead may be long and fraught with obstacles, but with each step taken toward meaningful change, the hope for a stable, prosperous future grows stronger. And as this journey unfolds, it serves as an inspiring testament to the resilience of a nation determined to rise above its difficulties and build a better tomorrow for all its citizens.